Hey guys, it's Adrian over BHA here, bringing you a new tutorial. Alright, so I know a lot of people have issues with the new Home Assistant Cloud as far as they're going to start charging us, like $5 a month, starting, April? Into April, maybe? Nonetheless, whether you love or hate it, there are some pretty cool stuff that you could do with the Home Assistant Cloud and the new Home Assistant branded skill in the Amazon Alexa app. It's definitely a lot easier to set up than, say, emulated Hue or even building out your own custom skill in the developer API. So I thought I'd run through a tutorial on how you could set up the Home Assistant Cloud with the Amazon Alexa app and kind of show you how easy it is to set up and to use. Not all domains are currently supported between Home Assistant and Alexa using the Home Assistant Cloud, but there are quite a few, and probably most of the ones that you're going to use anyway are available. Here, as you can see, is the list of current availability. So there are alerts, automations, input booleans, scripts, switches, lights, lots of cool stuff. Something that you will want to keep in mind if you are setting this up is that by default, all of these will be pulled into the Amazon Alexa app. So you're probably going to want to hide some of this stuff or exclude it. Otherwise, your Alexa app's going to get flooded with a bunch of stuff that you're probably never going to use with Alexa. So let's do a quick run through what we're going to cover in this video. Alright, so obviously we're going to start by setting up our Home Assistant account. If you don't already have one, obviously you have to have a Home Assistant account to be able to log in and get connected to the Home Assistant Cloud. And again, it's free for right now, all the way to like mid-April or end of April. So you definitely have some time to test it out before they start charging you if you want to see if it's something you're really going to use or not. Once that's done, we're going to delete the devices from our Alexa account. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and add the cloud component into Home Assistant and configure that all up. Once that's done, then we will go back into the Alexa app and add the Home Assistant skill. Once all that is done and we've got the new app and it's synced with our Home Assistant Cloud, then we are ready to discover the devices again in the Alexa app. And just as a couple of extras, I thought I would show you how you can customize your cloud component a little bit to clean up what the devices look like in the Alexa app, give them a description, change their name, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, lastly, just kind of show you what that looks like once we've done all that. So let's get started. Alright, so to set up your Home Assistant account, all you really need to do is on your web front end, you're going to go over to configuration. And in the top right over there, there's a place called Home Assistant Cloud. Like I said, if you've already set it up, then you may have already done all that. If not, you can click on it and it'll give you the ability to log in. As you can see, I'm already logged into mine and it shows connected. If you haven't already done that, then this is where you would go ahead and log that in and set it up. If you are creating an account for the first time, I think it will ask you to verify, like with an email address. Alright, so deleting devices in the Alexa app. Now, if you have used the Alexa app on your phone at all, it's kind of a pain if you ever need to delete devices or forget devices. You kind of have to do it one at a time. So it's really annoying, especially if you have a lot of devices that are connected with Home Assistant. So an easier way to do that, if you didn't already know, is you can actually log into Alexa on your computer through a web browser. You go to alexa.amazon.com, and I'll put that in the description, of course. Basically log in with your account, and it's going to look similar to what it shows in the app itself. So as you can see, it's the same basic setup as you see on your app. So we're going to go over to Smart Home, and then you can click on Devices, and it's got a list of devices that I've already got pulled in with Alexa. And so the cool thing about it is you can go down here to the bottom. Let me Let's see if I can scoot that up where you can see it. There it is. We're going to click forget all. So at that point, it's going to just erase everything that I have currently listed there. Again, this is not something you have to do. This is just an easier way for me to get rid of all of my devices that are synced with Home Assistant. We'll go ahead and hit forget all, say forget. It'll take it a second to remove everything. Alright, so now I have no devices synced with Alexa. Let's go ahead and go over here and add our cloud component into our Home Assistant configuration. So we do that by editing the configuration.yaml file. I'm going to find a spot down here. Of course, the name of the component is cloud. And then obviously I'm using Alexa, so I'm going to do some filtering here for Alexa. Because like I said originally, is that it's going to pull in all those domains that I showed you earlier. And if you don't want to use all those, or you don't want all those flooded inside your Alexa app, then I say exclude some of those. So I'm going to go ahead and do an exclude _ domains here. And then I'm going to remove sensors. I may add those back at a later date, but as it stands right now, I'm going to remove those because I don't need all those filling up my Alexa app. Groups. Not even sure why groups are a thing that you can use with Alexa. Maybe you can play around with it and do some stuff with it. I really don't know. But I mean, I have groups that I use for views and everything else, and have no reason at all to have those listed in the Alexa app. Let's see, input booleans. Again, you may use those for stuff that you want to be able to turn it on and off in Home Assistant. I don't, so I'm going to take those off. I don't need Alexa to control anything like that. Once I have those in, I think that's a good start. We're going to go ahead and save that. And of course, restart Home Assistant for the changes to take effect. Something else you need to think of, if you are coming from using a custom Alexa skill or emulated Hue or hasska or anything like that, you're going to want to disable all that before you set up the cloud component in Home Assistant, mainly because you don't want to have duplicates and all that stuff coming in more than once. And you want to make sure that what you have coming in is coming from the cloud component. Alright, let's go add the new Home Assistant skill that they've built out in Alexa and enable it. So basically we're going to go back over here on our Alexa app on the computer. I'm still logged in. I'm going to do a search for the Home Assistant app. And we're looking for the one that actually says it was made by Home Assistant. So of course I already have it. And this is where I would go ahead and enable the skill. And of course, if it's the first time you're setting it up, you're going to go to settings and you'll log in with your Home Assistant cloud account. Basically, as you can see, mine's already connected, so it shows linked there, so we are good to go. Alright, let's discover the devices again since we have everything synced up, and let it pull in that stuff from Home Assistant. So I'm going to click on Discover. Again, I'm doing all this from the Alexa app on the computer. You can do the majority of this from the Alexa app on your phone if you want. I was just already using it here when I deleted the devices earlier, so I kind of stuck with it. Give it a second to find all my devices. Bam! You can see here it's pulled everything in. Now, something you might notice is some of the names are kind of quirky, probably not names that I would want to have shown in Alexa as far as being able to control them. So you can certainly go through here and one by one edit them and change the name. But there's another cool way to do that. We can actually do it from the cloud component. Basically, we can modify the name. We can even give descriptions for the devices and what category we want them to fall under and everything. So let's move back over to the Home Assistant configuration, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so we're back in our Home Assistant configuration over here, and we are going to go down and do some custom configuration to our cloud component. I'm just going to do one to kind of show you what that looks like. So we're going to add in a line here for entity config, and we're going to take the first one that was in that list. It was a switch that I had set up for my Blu-ray player, so it's called switch.lr_Blu-ray. And basically what I want to do here is I wanted to give it a name of living room Blu-ray. That way I can turn it on and off just by asking Alexa with that name. And because I wanted to show a description when I look at the devices in the device list, I'm going to say the Blu-ray player in the living room. Obviously I already know what it is by the name, but just something cool to show you what you can do with the custom configuration here. And then lastly here, display_categories. So there's a list of different categories that you can use. This is a switch for turning it on and off, so I'm going to list it that way. Go ahead and save that. And then of course restart Home Assistant again for those changes to take effect. Alright, so we're going to go down here and do a discover again. Alright, so the current name of it is Blu-ray-Power. So we're going to go ahead and do a discover again, so it'll pick up the changes that we just made. Give it a second to go through that. And let's go ahead and scroll back up, and look, there it is, living room Blu-ray. The Blu-ray player in the living room. I mean, it's got the description and everything. Looks a lot cleaner. You can do that with every device you have in here if you want, at least the ones that are coming from Home Assistant. So that's a pretty cool way to tweak the names, you know, without having to actually do it here in the Alexa app if you want. Just another way to do that. That's the end of the video, guys. Let's do a quick run through of everything we covered in this video. We started by setting up our Home Assistant account for the cloud connection. Once we did that, we deleted our current devices in the Alexa app. After we did that, we added the new cloud component into Home Assistant. Once that was done, we went and enabled the new Home Assistant skill in Alexa. Once that was done and synced with Home Assistant, we discovered the new devices in the Alexa app. And then lastly, I just kind of showed you how you could do some customization for the devices in the Alexa app through Home Assistant. And I showed you what that looked like in action. Like I said, that is the end of the video, guys. Hope this helped a little bit and gave you a better understanding of what you could do with the new Home Assistant Cloud. Obviously, if you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. And as always, if there are any videos out there that you'd like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around. Thanks.